this because I think this is important. I think that we're at that point where we're ready to start coming back. Right, I didn't necessarily want to ever not play this game. I wanted to wake up and I wanted to grind and I wanted to play a Let It Die concept. You know, you see like 10 hours, not a lot of people go crazy and they're not like, let it die, you know what I mean? I like that about this game. There's 13 comments, there's me, everything is good, everything is there. You have a lot of time to work on a campaign. This game is obscure and beautiful, and please keep going if you feel you are I feel you are steering into the right direction. Please review the Steam discussion boards. I'm more active there. There's a lot of important things that I, in particular, have been writing. I might have to change my review soon because the major updates are completely and totally altering the game so much that I can't necessarily say that it's the same thing that I gave a bad review for. So, let me try to find the discussion board because the discussion board is extremely important. The end of PvP VE. And look at that. Lots and lots of rate ups. I'm really, really, really excited for that. I'm not going to read the negative comments. I'm not going to read, what is bad, because I think the developers have had enough of hearing that. And I've shown up to work every single day, and I've had some things critiqued about myself, even though necessarily I don't, know for 100% fact somebody else would agree with them, but it's okay. But I know how that feels. You come into work and somebody is... I think this is important. This is something that I wrote today. And I think it's a respectful way to show that I care still. To show that regardless of if I don't have any hours in the game, guys, I haven't left. I just have not left. And I have been sitting watching for a year. And all I can think to myself is, wow, this game is so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. The movement mechanics are new. They fixed how sluggish it feels. It's a lot quicker. They fixed the stamina max. They listened to a lot of user feedback. And, it's hard to say, let's change the sandwich bread from white to rye. It's hard to go from the foundation of what you just built on, which was PvPvE. But I think they did it in a way that allowed them to, if things went wrong, we can deviate from that. If things went wrong and the live service is, not necessarily up and kicking it, we can say, hey, we'll just do the PvE part, right? Even better, there is co-op in this game. Genuinely, I have never been more blown away at a studio this small doing this amazing of work. But, and that is a big but, The ship was steered just in the wrong direction. You just missed your exit on the highway. You just pulled into the wrong house. You pulled into the wrong driveway. The car is still the same. You're still driving a beautiful Ferrari. You're still driving a beautiful Lamborghini. You're still driving a beautiful Porsche GT3 RS. You're just in the wrong neighborhood, unfortunately, for our demographic of people. It's never been a live service game, guys. It's never been a live service game. It's just been PvE. And then when it's the PvP, it was still you're fighting AI. So this wasn't necessarily something that was what we were used to. And I think that's where it went wrong, was it was that fear. It was that fear. You guys are not lumped in with the category of people like Borderlands 4, Halo Studios. Those people have hundreds upon millions and millions of dollars. And if they miss the mark, that's bad, and that is on them. Where you guys have Let It Die Inferno, or if you'd like to push it to the next Let It Die 2, you have a lot more going for you. And I think it's hard because people like me feel so passionately about this game. I woke up and spent hours and hours and hours getting the KAMAS, and then getting the KAMAS RE, and then upgrading it, seeing how much better it is, and you know, my grenade launchers, they're not one-shotting people, but they're knocking people down, and then all of a sudden, now they're one-shotting, and I'm running around, and I'm buying KAMASes just to bring up into Tengoku, just to waste them, and it's just so fun and funny, and like, you know what I mean? They have 99% of those concepts, those guns, the weapons, the armor. If not, they're better. They are way better in concept than Let It Die 1. At this point in time, Let It Die 1 is very dated. And I think Let It Die Inferno helps that, because it adds so much better graphics. It adds amazing movement mechanics. It adds so many new things that push it away from being a dated concept. And I have never been happier for that. But, you know, I'm going to be honest, I went into one of the developers' streams, and when I was voicing my concern about PvP, he just laughed. So, you know, that's where Let It Die Inferno and a lot of the games I feel like they were going for in concept differ. And actually, let me just go to my Steam here. I think it's difficult for me to portray just how exciting this really is. I started playing Let It Die when I was 16 years old. That much is true. I did. 16 years old, in that spare room right to my right, through my door here, in that spare room. That is the first time I've ever played this game. And I'm 25 years old now. To say I have been around would be an understatement. My attitude is shifting, and I want to save my praise until a moment like this, a crossroads. I will be re-downloading today. I love Dante's Inferno. I'm still hyped to play a Let It Die game. I likely will change my review on the game and give it some more thought, especially since everything recently has been to cater towards us. And here, I always put my stars of my own opinions. These are usually my own opinions. I try to leave the facts without the stars. I don't know. Experiment with a small campaign again. I don't know. To the new studio creating these games with us, what an amazing art job. And that's an understatement. There's many adjectives I could add to this job. What an amazing job they did. The level design too. Beautiful, absolutely mind-blowing. The characters are hilarious. They're funny and they're gorgeous. The old lady that shoots you down, the waiting room lady who talks to you in the centerpiece, absolutely gorgeous. They're beautiful. The man who sells you the weapons and upgrades your weapons, he's handsome. He has the stickers on him from Let It Die 1, so he has some sort of connection to them. Thank you for that. That was really fun to find in the game when I first started up, but that's where, I'll get into the disdain and some of my frustrations that'll happen. The weapon design shows just how funny and obscure the game series truly is. The music, and I would argue that when it comes to Japanese folks making music, they are extremely good at doing these genres. That's just my personal experience. I even have 20 tracks in my SoundCloud and on other places that I would listen to Let It Die music. Unironically, I would put it in on my car, my first car, my Honda Civic that I bought. That was my first car. I would play Let It Die music while I was delivering pizzas. I love Let It Die. So don't tell me I don't like this game. Just saying. So my confidence has grown. And I wanted to leave that there. My confidence is, it's gone from like a 20% all the way up to about an 85%. They're doubling down on us. And I appreciate this. How much I appreciate a studio doubling down to cater towards their users is very, very fucking rare to see. It is rare. Very, very rare. And I absolutely urge every single person to wake up a little bit and start using some thought when it comes to telling them what you want to see and what we should be doing with this game. For the reasons listed above, this is why I was so upset. This is why I had such a hard time. I read comments after comments, super excited for not an exact copy, but an exact copy. Sticker guy, or similar. The stickers, the weapons, figuring out how to efficiently and safely take advantage of the AI. Watching my Magnum go from 3-shot kills to 1-shot. Bosses I could unleash every ounce of fury I learned from the Tower of Barbs along the way. Watching the boss health melt after I brought every sticker and stacked mushrooms along the way. Carefully choosing what's more important. I miss those tough decisions. I really do. I really miss those tough decisions. I knew I had to get home. So was it worth it to grab this extremely rare material and gamble having worse damage on the boss instead of picking up like a sting shroom or picking up a crush shroom? Sometimes I would find myself biting my nails before entering Napalm's chamber in Tengoku. That was a real nerve-wracking experience, because I would die a lot to these bosses and to all these things, these stray bullets, these bad decisions I'd make, or, I brought one less sting shroom, so now I'm sitting here and I'm doing a fraction of the amount of damage that I'd be doing, and it's pushing the timer longer, and then I die because I made a mistake, right? So this is more of like I trust you guys. I know you guys don't want to be like Halo Studios and pump out the same games and never try any new concepts. I respect that majorly. I think it's respectable that you guys branched out into a field that wasn't particularly easy to fill considering the competition. Even more respectable now is for a studio who spent countless hours on a project to admit when they're steering the ship in the wrong direction. Thank you. Thank you so much for admitting you were wrong. That means more to me than my entire lifetime combined. My human experience, everything that I have built up until now, this shows right here that anything is possible. Like, and here's pictures of the game. Look at how gorgeous this is. Look at the armor. Look at the shaders. Look at the particle effects. Absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at this map. Look at this map. It's so pretty. Look at the sky. It looks so good. I love this, and I love the new yuckies, the new enemies. Is that a Toyota? That was a Toyota! No. Ah! Meet certain conditions and new stages open up. Okay, that's a very interesting concept. Yeah, no, this was the thing. This was the thing. This was the thing. This was the thing. This is it. This is it right here. 420 on the exact mark. Look at this. Look at what we have. We have a roadmap. We have a roadmap. Do you know how bad? Do you know how bad I missed climbing the tower? And I'm fine with going down now. Yes, let's go down instead. We don't need to climb the tower. I love this. Dante's Inferno. I was clapping my hands, smacking my knee. I was so happy. And this right here, I have tears in my eyes right now. That's how happy that this makes me. Right here. I'm assuming that's like materials you'll find there. It just goes to show. It just goes to show that if you have a bunch of people and it takes the developers too. It takes the developers to be good, caring, kind people who are willing to cater to us. Seeing this grow has made me a very happy person. And I hope moving forward that we continue this. Because the relationship between developer and player in this game, and especially the first game, has never been better. This is a good studio. You guys have amazing work. Take your time. Take your time. Do not rush this part of development. You started the course. It is charted. We are going to the promised land. We are headed in that direction. Let's take it slow. As slow as you guys need to. I don't care if it takes 5 years. I don't care if it takes 10 years. We are going to get this right. And I know I don't really have a lot to say that propels things forward. I'm not a developer. I don't make the polygons. I don't make the textures. I don't do the coding. I don't do the animating. I don't do the weapon building, and I know that. I hope you guys can respect that. I am a gamer, and that is about all I can offer. So I will continue playing this game as much as I possibly can. It's almost like, that tower climbing game. We're starting to look a little bit like that. Good. Good, 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 good. Look at how beautiful this game is.